And then at that point, I'm just like,
What's got Stranger Things star Gaten Matarazzo freaking out? We'll tell you. And we've got the stories that define the week on People in 10. I'm Andrea Belke, bringing you everything you need to know about pop culture right now. We've got 10 minutes, so let's dive right in with the first 5, starting with an update on one of this week's viral headlines. After JoJo Siwa revealed Candace Cameron Bure as the rudest celeb she's met in a pool day TikTok, Candace took to Instagram to explain her side.
I was shocked when I saw the TikTok on Sunday.
But a quick phone call helped the two stars clear the air.
She was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I kind of said, "Well, I've been better. What happened?" She said, "I met you at the Fuller House premiere and I was 11 years old and we were all on the red carpet. And when I had come up to you and I said, 'Can I have a picture with you?' and you said to me, 'Not right now.'"
After which the mom of 3 says she profusely apologized to the Dancing with the Stars alum.
And I was like, "Oh, JoJo, I'm so sorry. I feel crummy. JoJo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And she was like, "It's seriously not a big deal."
Now, Candace says things are all good on the JoJo front. One celeb couple is feeling blue this week.
2, 1.
Tarek and Heather Rae El Moussa will welcome a baby boy early next year, announcing the news with a blue confetti-filled video on Instagram.
It's a boy!
Just 2 weeks after going public with their surprise pregnancy. And we've got 2 new baby names to report. It's coming up roses for Pippa Middleton, Kate's little sis, who named her 3rd child, born in June, Rose. This as Nick Cannon's 8th child, a son shared with model Brie Tiesi, got a unique name of his own.
Hey, legendary.
Legendary's name was revealed in a raw 11-minute YouTube video, which shows Brie moving through pregnancy, natural induction, labor, and delivery, and praising Nick for being there through it all. And while Simu Liu and his girlfriend Jade Bender were all smiles at Comic-Con, and Charlie D'Amelio is smooching her man Landon Barker, newlyweds Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck took their love to the City of Love, where they visited museums, dined in style, and enjoyed some romantic shopping sprees after tying the knot in Vegas earlier this month. Next up, the post that had us talking this week. Elon Musk is denying rumors of an affair with Google co-founder Sergey Brin's wife, calling it total BS, and explaining that the tech moguls are still friends, who recently even attended a party together. For good measure, he later tweeted that he hasn't even had sex in ages. Noted. Keke Palmer is shutting down Twitter users who compared her and Zendaya.
Oh, okay.
Writing in part, "A great example of colorism is to believe I can be compared to anyone." She went on to list some of her many career achievements, including starring in the current #1 movie in America, Nope.
5 stars, Angel, 5 stars.
Newly 30, Selena Gomez is remembering her last decade as a journey through good, hard, and beautiful moments after ringing in her milestone B-Day with friends, including Taylor Swift. And Harry Styles is proving once again that he's a class act by sending Lizzo a gift after her single About Damn Time beat his to #1.
Thanks for the flowers, Harry.
Switching gears now to a story you've been following closely on People.com. A cause of death has finally been revealed for the wife of country singer Hank Williams Jr. According to a report from the Palm Beach County Medical Examiner, Mary Jane Thomas died on March 22nd of a collapsed lung punctured during elective surgery the day before. In an autopsy report obtained by People, her cause of death is listed as accidental. The autopsy indicates it happened during a fat transfer, which was part of a breast lift breast implant removal procedure. The former model had traveled to Florida from Nashville for the surgery, after which she was released and taken to a recovery facility. The next day, she was sitting up and speaking normally when she suddenly became unresponsive. She was rushed to a local hospital where she died in the emergency room. Thomas was 58 years old. In this week's People cover story, Jordan Turpin is opening up about her escape from the House of Horrors, where she and her 12 siblings were held captive by their abusive parents. She says it's been a very scary journey, but her brothers and sisters give her the will to live as she tries to heal every day.
One of the biggest things that I'm looking for is taking what I went through and turning it around in something more positive, where I can actually help others and make a difference in the world. I think that's the most important thing to me, because it helps me too, knowing that I can help others with it.
Now, Jordan is very excited about living on her own for the first time.
It's really, really nice. Like in the beginning, there's a lot to learn and stuff. At first, it was like unreal, because it was like, this is everything I ever wanted, to be free.
And she's enjoying the freedom to do everyday things, including going to a very special concert, Justin Bieber.
Justin is someone that I started learning a lot from watching him, and I started just like seeing there was another world out there. He made me more curious about the world out there, and he's just someone I always like looked up to.
There, she had an emotional moment with Justin's wife, Haley.
I ran up and I hugged her, and I didn't want to stop hugging her because she was just so sweet. And she was like, "Oh, it's a happy moment. You don't you don't have to cry." And I was like, "These are happy tears."
Now, let's move on to some screen time. I'm so excited to be joined now by Gaten Matarazzo. He's back on Broadway, starring in Dear Evan Hansen until September 18th. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. For question number 1, you have to give me 1 answer. For question number 2, you have to give me 2 answers, and so on. Let's get started. First up, Dear Evan Hansen follows high school senior Evan Hansen, who makes up a relationship with a deceased student in a misguided attempt to comfort the boy's grieving family. You played Jared, the closest person that Evan has to a friend, and you were last on Broadway in 2014. What is one reason that Dear Evan Hansen made you want to return to Broadway?
Because they asked. It's a show I've loved for such a long time, and the fact that I get to be here right before it closes is just it's just wonderful.
You were on Broadway when you were really young. How old were you?
I debuted on Broadway when I was 9.
Do you remember anything about when you were 9 on Broadway, like a standout memory?
I remember opening night, and I remember walking out onto the stage and just being absolutely mesmerized. I don't even know if I said my line right. I probably didn't.
As I mentioned, you're part of the show until it closes in September, and you've experienced acting both on stage and on television. What are 2 essentials that have to be a part of your pre-show or pre-filming routine?
Definitely water, and it's become Ricolas. They for sure have way more sugar than they say.
Is there something that you say to get yourself pumped up, or are you just like, you're in the zone?
I think for the most part, I distract myself until the point at which I can no longer, and then at that point I'm just like, and then I do it.
We obviously know and love you as Dustin on your hit TV show Stranger Things.
You just want me out of here so you can make your move.
Oh, because you're such a threat.
That's right. She will not be able to resist these pearls.
It was announced earlier this year that the season 5 would be the show's last season. What are 3 things that you're gonna miss about Stranger Things?
The people. These people are my family, and working with them has been the absolute best honor of my entire life. I'm gonna miss Atlanta. I'm gonna miss being there consistently because it's kind of become a second home. The third thing that I'm gonna miss Dustin. It's the only character I've ever played where I go to set and I know exactly who he is. I feel free in making choices without necessarily thinking, would I? And feeling confident in that because I've been playing him for so long.
Where did we get those? Do you need to be told everything?
It is crazy to see just how young you were when you first started, and we've watched you grow up. You've watched yourself grow up on screen.
That's what's weird. Is I've watched myself grow up, and I don't like seeing clips of when I was a 13-year-old boy doing interviews having no social awareness or anything.
You have a movie coming out called Honor Society. It's about high schoolers competing to be at the top of their class, and you're one of the students that are very competitive at academics.
Only one is an actual threat. Michael Dipnicki. I've got to get him to tank his midterms.
In real life, what are 4 things that you are competitive about?
Mario Kart, that's a good one. Shotgun, get in the front seat of the car. Competitive over me thinking that my pets are the best pets that exist, and anytime somebody says that like their dog's the best, I'm like, well, you haven't met my dog. And Monopoly, it is intense. It is intense and brutal, and fights are had.
And finally, give me 5 reasons that people should see your show, Dear Evan Hansen.
It's closing in 2 months, so it's your only opportunity to come see the original production in New York. It's pure and original form. The cast that I'm working alongside is just absolutely brilliant. If you've never been to New York, being in New York is incredible. It's a great thing to do while you're here. I think it's a great show to learn from. I think that if you go, you always, I've seen it 3 separate times, and I've learned something new about the show itself and about myself every time I've seen it. The message of the show is really, really important. It's a poignant story. I think it's important for young people to see. It deals with very difficult themes, and I think it does it in a very balanced and nuanced way.
Thank you so much for being here. Everyone, be sure to check him out on Broadway in Dear Evan Hansen. He's part of the show through the final performance on September 18th. All right, time's up. See you next Thursday.